Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, January 11th, 2024. This is the 115th episode. 115th episode. And because I had exactly no time to put a description together and exactly no time to put any kind of thumbnail together, I just said, oh, it's Thursday. I'll just put up open line Thursday. And that will mean whatever you want it to mean or whatever we want it to mean as we're going along. Basically, what I mean by that is we can kind of just shoot the shit. We can talk about whatever we want to talk. We can kind of hit a couple different topics. There's a lot of things to talk about. We had a big show last night. We had can you believe that? I know. I'm wearing my wonderful shirt with the hair dye. This is not like, obviously this looks horrible. It's like, I've been eating down here in the basement for days, spilling stuff on me. I had an experiment where I dyed my hair a while back, couple years ago.
Shirt.
I know. Yeah.
It does not look like you've been eating. It looks like you've been doing something else.
Yeah, right. It's very horrible.
Won't discuss.
It's very horrible.
Lies.
But yeah, it's very horrible. It's hair dye, ladies and gentlemen. It's bleach is what it is. And so on my way up, I was like, I'm gonna grab another shirt, and I didn't. So here we are. Welcome.
So why have you been? You've been really busy today.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things that we've had going on.
You've been doing family stuff today, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had some family things. I won't embarrass anyone with what they are, but I do.
Family comes first, man. So I'm just glad you were able to make it and that we were getting to do a show tonight. So
yes. Awesome. I do want to say we have some pretty big news, big breaking news out of Muncie, and it's unfortunately not good news. Really. Let me pull this up here. I was actually looking at this. What's going on here? I was actually looking at this is what was taking a lot of my time as I was coming up here. But there's a horrible situation where apparently a city of Muncie bus was hit. Excuse me. No, the bus was not hit. The Muncie City bus hit apparently a pedestrian. Again, the breaking news in Muncie just from a little bit ago here is a Muncie City bus hit a pedestrian, and that is of course not good news. So our thoughts and our prayers are with the people that were involved with this, anyone and everyone that was involved, and obviously the person who was hit. Some reports are saying that it was a child that was hit. I don't know that actually. I can't confirm that or not, but let's see here. There was a post. Let's go up here and take a look. The comments are taken. Bus hit a child. Prayers to the child and family. Prayers going up for the child and his or her family. Sending prayers. Crazy. Sending prayers. Prayers for the child. Prayers. Very sad. Does anyone know about the age, if boy or girl? Another post had mentioned mid-teenage group, but not confirmed. Some of the drivers don't pay attention. I was sitting at a stop sign and one peeled my left Tahoe front and blah, 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 blah. I drove by as the first police car was pulling up, and there was what appeared to be a full-grown man laying in the road surrounded by people. If it was a kid, maybe a teenager, or maybe someone fainted after. Yeah, that's a horrible situation. Whatever the situation is, obviously, thoughts and prayers for the injured, and of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the bus driver, to anyone on the bus, to the police officers, paramedics, and fire doctors. Hopefully, everybody that is involved can deal with this. Pinnacuff is going, damn it. I do want to say, listen, I didn't break this. I had no idea. This is not my picture. I didn't know this was happening. Audie Barber brought it to my attention. So that's going on. So that's that. Number one, I want to say that. Okay, so that's that. They do closed captioning. Unfortunately, it only happens once the video isn't live. If somebody could type that in so Catherine could see it on the screen, maybe Kate could type that as an answer. All of the YouTube videos do go to closed captioning, but it's only on repeat. So if Catherine's at this meeting for another 6 hours or so, she could probably watch this. We can quickly go to the meeting where Catherine's at and see live as a contributing whatever I called Audie. I don't know what I called Audie. A contributing asshole. Is that what I called Audie? Here's this. This is where Rebecca is the one videoing this. Counselor Rebecca Crooms. She used to be sitting up there on the council, but unfortunately she was beat in this last election, so she's now sitting out in the most powerful seat, the audience. But Rebecca Crooms is filming, and Catherine is sitting here next to Rebecca, I would assume. And apparently they are having an absolutely insane city council meeting in Anderson. This is the city of Anderson. And they've just there. I was talking to some people from Anderson today. I was talking with Catherine and a couple of other people, and they've got some serious stuff going on over there. Of course, this is the first meeting for this. This was the first meeting for the city of Anderson, and they've, of course, just like Muncie, they've got some new people, and it's pretty crazy. They are standing room only there, so I like when citizens are involved. And some people have actually told me that the Delaware County, or excuse me, the Madison County version of the devil himself has appeared in this meeting. Russ Willis, the Republican Party chairman, he made an appearance for some unknown reason, so that'll be interesting. That's that. So we'll be following a little bit more of this, and these people need to hire. Back here. I gotta get back to the comments. These people need to hire Russell Cates. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this meeting. I don't know why these meetings should not be going on this long. So yeah, that's crazy. Okay, no, that arrest for Lewis was, if you look, it says 10/25 of 2021. So that was nearly 3 years ago. That's not a current arrest. He has not been arrested. That's an arrest from 2021. However, we do have some news about our second criminal. I'm pulling up my case here really quickly. Pop this up on the screen.
Oh, you want to share the whole thing?
Yeah, well, we can do either. I mean, yeah, I was just gonna. Yeah, I mean, do you have the bits in
the bit about the new stuff?
Let's see here. I've got the whole thing pulled up.
All right,
let's see.
I'll get off here.
No, you're fine. We can see how either one does. Pull up the. Let's see if this works. All right, so I want everybody to look at this. This is, well, keep that pulled up. I'm going to also do this for a second so everyone can see. So this is what, oops, all right, we can't do that. All right, so this is Lewis's charges. State of Indiana versus Lewis David Galligan. He's got felony 3, prosecutor case, okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it looks like they have, since I have looked at this last, they have charged him with a second count of intimidation. So one time he just had 5 charges, only 1 count of intimidation. Now he's got 2 counts of intimidation, but those are the lowest level of felony anyways. So it is what it is. Here you can see he paid a $4,000 cash bond. Okay. Now if we pull up here, let's see here. So on 1/8/24, a special judge was assigned, a judge different than Josh's judge. On 1/8/24, order for hearing, acceptance of jurisdiction on criminal proceedings and setting hearing, filed court schedules hearing on state's motion to increase or alter bond conditions for Friday, January 12th, 2024 at 1 p.m. That's tomorrow. Court directs the sheriff to serve copy of acceptance upon defendant. Hearing schedule activity, bail review hearing set for 1/12. Clerk administrative event, 1/9 automated e-notice issued to parties. Service returned, not served. Okay, very interesting. Service returned, not served. Notice for Lewis Galligan, not served by Randolph County Sheriff, as defendant has flew to the UK. Okay, now I am going to find out tomorrow if a condition of his bond was, obviously it wasn't that he turn over his passport, because obviously he didn't turn over a passport. Why would a citizen of another country, a person that has dual citizenship, not be ordered to turn over their passport when paying such an amazingly low bond for a series of crimes that we see here on the screen. And then they're like, well, we want to have a hearing on this bail review. But we can't do that because the defendant has flew to the UK. What in the absolute bloody hell is going on with this? This is nuts to me. This is absolutely nuts to me. So, I don't know if I've got anything going on. I purposefully did not go to Joshua's hearing because I want to separate myself out from Josh. And look, again, for the record, I want to say, for the record, I'm separating myself out from Josh because there was a period in time in which our camp and Josh did work together. I've been in his house probably all told 5 times, 6 times in my life. While I was in his house, he, his wife, the children were there. Nothing was out of line. Nothing was out of the ordinary. Most of our interaction was over the phone or over internet. We've been to some meetings together. I picked him up and took him to a couple places. Someone today brought up the fact that Joshua and Lewis were both with me at Caddis. We went to a meeting in Caddis, Indiana. Someone said, "You were in Caddis with both of these individuals. Don't try to distance yourself from them now." Well, what do you mean? Say, for the sake of argument, that you have a brother-in-law who you hang out with, and then at some point your brother-in-law kills someone. You know, you're not penalized because you hung out with your brother-in-law beforehand, but then after he commits the crime, you distance yourself from that, and that's exactly what we did. Now, we're not distancing ourselves from Joshua now. We distanced ourselves from Joshua in August when there were issues and they just couldn't be dealt with. Wished him the best. It was what it was. No hard feelings, we still communicated periodically, but there was no connection to us. There's nothing I could have done that could have seen. Yeah, we didn't stop and molest anybody along the way. So that is what it is. I just stupid. But so I didn't go to Josh's hearing because I'm wanting him to plead guilty and be gone for as long as they sentence him for. But I didn't go to that hearing because I thought I don't want it to be said that I'm supporting him in any way. I would be interested in going to Lewis's hearing because it's very clear that I was not a friend of Lewis. I was always very adamant that Lewis was a shifty, shady individual. I had calls from law enforcement telling me after after Joshua and I went our separate ways, after Josh and our team, when I say our team, I mean the three of us, the three-headed Cerberus that is the political spotlight. After we went our separate ways, I had a high-ranking law enforcement personnel reach out to me. Listen, I'm not going to tell you who, but you can read between the lines what I'm saying here. A high-ranking law enforcement personnel reached out to me and said, "Hey, just FYI, if you still speak to Joshua at all, you need to tell him that he needs to stay the hell away from Lewis, because Lewis is bad news." And I did pick up the phone and I called Josh and I told him that. Now, obviously, Josh had his own demons going on and nobody knew. And I've talked to that person from law enforcement since, and he's like, I would have never thought this. Nope, nobody would have ever thought this. Now, speaking about Caddis, let me tell you, I was extremely embarrassed. And there's going to be people in the auditor world that's going to say, Bilbrey. I was embarrassed at how Josh acted at Caddis. There was no need for Josh's behavior at Caddis. I told him going into Caddis that we were dealing with someone, meaning John Sproles, that was a loose cannon. And that was possible, very possibly could be dangerous. And that there was no need for crazy amounts of provocation. That we could go in and do what we needed to do without crossing a line. And we're not out of the car 5 minutes before Josh is going into his MFer, bitch, calling saying the most derogatory thing to everyone involved. And listen, everyone has a First Amendment right to say anything they want to say to a certain extent. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater, blah, 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 blah. We know, what it is. And anytime Josh was Josh was a child in the world, and Josh always had a chip on his shoulder, and it's hard to do a job like this with such a chip on your shoulder. And it's really hard, and it's really frustrating. And what I said frequently was that Josh brought me to YouTube, shown me how to do YouTube. That's what he lended to our group. And we lended him legitimacy. Because Josh really by himself was capable of going out and being an auditor and doing things, but 5 seconds into a conversation, if you're going into F this and F that, a lot of people are just going to shut down. The thing is, you have a First Amendment right to say anything you want. But one of the things that I preach frequently is the person on the other end doesn't have to listen to it. They don't have to listen to the vulgarity if they so choose. So Josh was going around saying, Bilbrey was scared at Caddis. Bilbrey was scared. No, Bilbrey wasn't scared. Bilbrey was embarrassed. I was put out. I was I don't consider myself a journalist. Josh always said that he was a journalist. The thing that I always laughed about with that was he made himself the story always within the first 5 seconds of anything that he did. And a true journalist does not do that. I become the story a lot of times. That's why I say I'm not a journalist. I'm an opinion person. I'm here for my opinions and to give you my opinions. And you can like them or not like them or whatever. It's all that. But I was not scared at Caddis. He's like, oh, he wanted to get out of there. And I've never seen him so scared. No, I was exasperated. I was like, Jesus, what you did is you turned in an event where we were completely in the right to an event where literally we were in the right, but anybody in their right mind would have called all the law enforcement and did all that because they've got some crazy guy on here, let me tell you, I carry a gun probably 99% of my time. You will never see me carrying my gun because I carry concealed. Because I'm a tactical person. I don't find the need to jump out with my gun on my side. It's like, oh, it's from a Second Amendment. No, look, I'm Second Amendment all the way, and you ain't ever going to know until I need you to know. And the only time I need you to know is if you're acting foolish and getting ready to hurt me or hurt someone else, and then I need to... Look, the jail's calling me again at this very time. Wow, very strange. Very strange. I'm in the process of finding out what this is. I made a phone call today, but it didn't go through. And we'll hear it again and see if I can push it this time.
Direct pay call from an inmate at the Delaware County Jail, Indiana, carried by Combined Public Communications. Three-way or call waiting is not allowed and may automatically disconnect this call.
I wonder...
This call is subject to monitoring and recording.
Edgel.
You are an attorney or designated 931-3938 to have your number set to do not record. Please select from the following options if you consent to this call being recorded, and to accept this call, dial 1 now. To reject this call, dial 2. We are sorry, but your prepaid account balance is not sufficient to allow collect calling from this facility. Please contact customer service at 866-797.
I'm going to send you a picture. Has anyone talked to Yinser? I got to thinking maybe right as I said that, because I was like, I don't know anybody in Delaware County, but I do know Yinser. I gotta find out what's going on with that. That's weird. Because that's now the third night in a row they've called me. Now Audie's calling me for some unknown reason. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Right? We've talked about that months ago. Are you watching the show? Oh, can you not text that? Okay. Right. Yeah, I knew that. It's Kim Dowling. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I guess Audie forgot we were doing a live show. Listen, I lied. I guess it's my fault. It's false advertisement. This is not real. I guess it is. That's my bad. Here's the problem. The reason I can't really do open line, if you guys want to, if there's anybody out there that would like to come on, I guess we could do that. But really the only way that we could honestly do it would be to give you a link for you to pop on, the way, hey, Kate, pop up here real quick.
Hi.
So you can pop up this way. Do the thing where it turns your camera off, but you're still on screen.
See, now you're like doing like
E for me, but I don't know if that works for you. No, not that way. Oh my God, she completely disconnected. Well, okay, like that. Yeah, there's a way. Can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay, so yeah, there she can.
Day, man.
Yeah, I understand. So there's a way, and it wouldn't put your picture there. It's got her picture because she put it there. So you could join that way, or we could call you via Messenger. We could call you via Messenger. I was trolling you. Wait a minute. Are you serious? Okay, sorry about that. You can pop back on the screen if you want and then do whatever. There she goes there. Well, look at this. What's this? What in the scary, crazy shit is this? Ugh. I've got a number. Well, it was the Bastards hotline. I think it's expired now. But again, what I need to do is I need to get away. I'll work on that. I will work on that, you guys. I will work on find a way to get the line to ring through where we can answer you on the board and be able to put it in. Because right now the problem is if we put you through on the board, you guys can hear the caller, but I can't hear the caller. You can hear me. You can hear. Yeah, now that would be good. That would be good. Speaking of crazy voicemail, while we're here, first of all, I want to kind of talking about politics, getting into the political swing here. We're going to look at a couple articles from the Star Press here in a minute. But before we get on to that, I do want to pull up the Courier Times out of Newcastle and see if they have any information about the sheriff getting the county insurance pulled. And no, it looks as if there are still no stories. Wait a minute. Oh, now wait a minute. Now this is important. County council changes meeting times and dates. This is important for those of you in Henry County. Henry County Council will meet on new dates and times this year. The council voted unanimously to have their regular meetings at 4:30 p.m. on the second Wednesday of the month in 2024. So January 10th, February 14th, March 13th, April 10th, May 8th, June 12th, July 10th, August 14th, September 11th, October 9th, November 13th, and December 11th. The meetings will continue to be at the Henry County Courthouse. The County Council also scheduled regular work sessions for the year to be at 4:30 p.m. on the fourth Thursday of the month, January 25th, February 22nd, March 28th, April 25th, May 23rd, June 27th, July 25th, August 22nd, and September 26th. Work sessions are open to the public. The work sessions may be canceled as needed if there's not sufficient business for the council to discuss. Moving to county employee matters, the council approved $46,791.80 in unused sick time payouts to retiring staff members. This is, I don't like this. I don't like they're moving the time further away from a time where citizens can attend. 4:30 p.m. Who in the hell No, that's not better. Their current meetings are at 6 p.m. Their current meetings are at 6 p.m. So they're going backwards. So that's not a good thing. That sucks. Oh, Ryan. Yeah, bro. We've had everything going. Hey, did you watch the Roe show? What was your thoughts on the Roe show? That was insane. Just I couldn't believe that. That was nuts. Now I do in switching real quick. So we went to the Courier Times, and there's no news from the Courier Times reference the news from the Henry County Commissioners, which just blows me away. There is no news about the commissioners. I've even texted the Courier Times and asked, hey, are you guys going to cover? Are you guys going to cover at all in any way the Henry County commissioners information? And we didn't get that. Okay. Now moving on to other media out of Henry County. We've had a couple people asking, would the Boss Hogs of Liberty cover what happened? And their 329th show is up. Let's see. Did they talk about Henry County?
Where would a man buy a set of gloves like that?
I think I bought these from Amazon. Just fingerless gloves.
See, this is Amazon. Jeff Bezos made the world a smaller place.
I believe I bought them on Amazon.
Because that is not something you could have bought back when we were kids at the Alco. Like, those were not around.
The Alco. I forgot about that.
What was before that, though?
It was never a Kmart, though, was it?
What is this?
The Pete the Planner podcast, Pete the Planner radio show, originates, I believe, in Carmel, Indiana. At least that's where
Pete the
their
Planner
headquarters is.
They noted that, yeah.
Yeah.
The language on the show isn't usually too awful. It's usually scattered.
It's PG-13.
Don't know. I'll listen. Like I said, I saw it. I listened to basically the cold open, and I haven't made it past that because, well, coming back after a long break means there's a lot of stuff to do. So,
episode that aired this week that they released. He doesn't do a show at night like we do. So it's like 10 o'clock on a Friday morning, and he's always got an appointment to get to. And he says, I don't have time for this. We don't have time to be messing around. But then he
Instead, I had to just avoid
Just
it.
to skip out.
If you're like one state,
We're just being salacious. I have no idea if
gonna
he has a
stay
gambling
away.
problem or
I
not.
don't
You
know.
can gamble anywhere. Lord knows there's Indian truck
can
stops.
I can
that
tell you
there are
one-
Indian gambling establishments
If
all over the
somebody
place.
said there's a state you don't care if you ever get to, it'll probably be Mississippi. Because I don't think anything good happens down there.
You're right.
What have they got? And then like Georgia's got like Atlanta and some metropolitan areas, whatever. And then
like crazy good food though. Like,
Alabama's got Barber Motorsports Park.
Oh my God.
Oh, don't know.
Trying to decide what state I want to piss off.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
Ohio.
I'm gonna go.
Looking at the comments, it doesn't look like they brought it up because
Appreciate it.
somebody
You guys
surely
know
would
it's
have
a program,
commented
bless
on
you.
that
I'm gonna go to New
if they had
Jersey.
talked about it.
That's probably an easy one to avoid.
Yeah, I'm gonna say New Jersey.
Surely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
You would
I've been
think.
there. It was
I don't know.
fine.
Their
It
guest
wasn't
looks like their
special.
guest is Mark Foltz.
It wasn't special.
I've got no beef with him. I don't know who he is.
New Jersey.
Another trip to New Jersey. That's where we're going.
I'm shocked. I want to know what show they're talking about.
I have a confession to make.
Okay, here it comes.
Not only do I produce, or I don't produce, I contribute. I dare I say lead this podcast. But I am a listener, an avid listener of a number of other podcasts. And if I'm a listener, I'm a contributor. And I sometimes send tweets out to the hosts.
Okay.
And, the Pete the Planner podcast.
Oh God, that is what he's talking about.
Aren't so busy with life that we have to cut our shows short. We can sit back and enjoy ourselves if the conversation's right. You know,
It's the okay.
The
Well,
NHL hockey game. I would.
oh my God,
7 feet.
ladies
away.
and gentlemen,
They talked about the weather and they talked about the new Jack's Donuts opening.
Get your phone out.
And I don't know if I hear people gossiping about it a little bit, I usually won't like look at the Facebook post and blah blah blah. I'll just go straight to my app and be like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, we'll see.
we'll
see.
app.
Well, that's there's your podcast, your political podcast out of Henry County, Indiana, covering the needed to know information of the day. So it is what it is. All right, so there's that, and then moving on to the other news in the area, the Star Press. Of course, they're not going to cover the Henry County Commissioners thing, but I do want to cover a couple of quick important news articles here. And I'm trying to get down to them. Man, like, listen, this is so frustrating to me. This is so wildly frustrating. Someone told me the other day that I sounded like an asshole because of a post that I'm getting ready to show to you guys. And I'm going to explain to you my frustration. Okay, let me pull up my post here, and I'm gonna explain to you why. I probably did sound like an asshole. I know I did. I know that I did, and that was purposeful. I sounded like an asshole, and I purposefully sounded like an asshole, and I'm getting ready to explain to you why. Okay, here's my social media, my Facebook account. I know you guys can't see it. I'll read it to you. This post was from 3 days ago. I posted this on Monday the 8th at 2:56 p.m. I said 1/8/24. This is insane. Certainly they don't believe this, right? And then I put the quote, "The Star Press still packs a strong punch on Muncie news and corruption." That's their article. There, you can see it down here. The Star Press still packs a strong punch on Muncie news and corruption. I said, are you kidding me? I mean, let's be real. I like David Pinnicuff. I like him. Doug Walker could drop off the face of the planet tomorrow, and I would not miss a beat. But I truly do like David. That said, they are always like not a day late and a dollar short, but they're more like a week late and they can keep the change, you filthy animal. But seriously though, who, and I really mean this, Who is going to the Star Press for breaking news? Literally every story that they mention in this article, I either broke first, covered more, or somehow was more heavily involved with or in. Now listen, I'm not knocking them just to knock them. I wish they would pick it up. Hire some reporters and get to it. I'm not a journalist. I don't want to be a journalist. There is a call for real journalists here in Muncie. But the Star Press is not that. Not now, anyway. And then I shared the article. And the article says, the Star Press still packs a strong punch on Muncie news and corruption. The Star Press is unique in that it's the only major news outlet on the block. Is it? But that lock on the market hasn't slowed down reporters Doug Walker or David Pinnicuff. It hasn't? When the shock hit after the July 30th, 2023 shooting at Willard and Hackley Streets that killed 1 and wounded 17, our readers rushed to the Star Press to get the most current updates. The Star Press was the definitive source for breaking information about the shooting and its fallout. I disagree with that 100%. I was on the scene at the shooting within 20 minutes of the shooting. Taking video, taking picture. I was at the scene of the shooting. I was at the scene of the hospital. And I was there for hours. We put together amazing information and amazing shows covering it. But that's just one thing. And they go on and they talk about other things. They talk about things with the mayor. They talk about Dennis Tyler. And they talk about just other crap. All right. Now, I want to show you why I'm bringing that up. Here is the front page of the Star Press. Okay. I want to show you what this front page looks like. Here's the front page. The very first thing isn't news. It's this big ass ad. It's not even a big ad. It's really small, but it takes up a big box. This is annoying. Get rid of this. All right. Muncie man faces molesting counts, pleads guilty to battery charge. We've got some top headlines over here and then an ad. We've got some stories. We've got a story onlooker. I mean, where are there kangaroos boxing in Muncie? Oh, this is from the from USA Today or the Associated Press. Okay, great. What's this stuff? All right, we've got some ads. We've got a little bit of news here. We've got a little bit of news here. Okay, watch this. In quick order, we get down here to just all of this is, I don't know what all of this is. Ad. You know, then it takes us nearly 3/4 of the page to get back down here to one little news blurb and then ad, and then some more local stories and then big ad. I mean, so you can't even, it's hard to look through this crap and even know what's news, what's not. And of course, that's the thing, right? Because they want you to be looking for news and accidentally click on this number one toilet cleaning hack. Well, this is trash in the form of a website. It's just horrible. They used to have some articles on here about the Muncie City Council meeting and about the about some other things, but I can now no longer locate them, so I'm going to have to go back into my archives. And okay, here we go. I'll pull this up and I'll share this with you. Okay, let's quickly close out this ad. All right, here we go. Council approves reworded resolution for the new fire station at McCullough Park. David Pennicuff. The new Muncie City Council, just elected in November, took on what has become a divisive issue in its first meeting Monday night and overcame an impasse with the help of its attorney. Council took on a resolution that had been tabled by the previous council in December. The resolution authorized the city to enter into a build, operate, and transfer agreement for the construction of a fire station to replace station number 6 at McCullough Park. There is apparently no disagreement among the council members, firefighters, and members of the public that the meeting that the current building is in poor condition and a new replacement that would provide needed private accommodations for the men and women assigned to the East Side Station. The issue is using whether to, what is this? What does this say?
It needs to be proofread desperately.
The issue is using whether to use a build, operate, transfer agreement. Okay. Under the agreement, the builder constructs the fire station and at an agreed price and hands it over to the city when done. The more conventional way to build the fire station would have the city advertise for bids for the construction and then choose a contractor. The administration has set up plans to pay for the station with an $8 million bond issue. GM Development, based in Henry County, has been studying the station, its needs and location, and is the intended builder. The company has built stations across the state. After hearing from firefighters, Mayor Dan Ridenour and members of the public, council members said they still didn't have enough information to determine if the path being laid out by the administration was best. A committee involving firefighters, council members, and GM Development has been working about 2 years on the plan for replacing 3 of the city's 5 stations. As cost escalated with increasing interest rates, the plans went from replacing 3 fire stations to replacing only number 6 because of the poor conditions there. 5 of the 9 council members were not on the previous city council and said they had just been on the job 8 days when asked to vote on the matter. While they had met with Ridenour individually about the fire station, a promised council and public works committee meeting about fire station 6 had not been conducted. Fire station number 6 is in horrible shape, said Nora Powell, council member representing District 2. However, we were promised a public works meeting that never happened, where we would have gotten answers to some of these questions that are very, very important. Ridenour told the council that the build, operate, transfer agreement could insulate the city from price increase that might arise from opening the construction up to bidders. Meanwhile, Rose Selvey, who was reelected to the council in November, made emotional pleas for the council to take action to approve the resolution. I wonder if the fire station was in another location, if we would have sat here and had the discussion over and over again. Selvey, spelled wrong, said, inferring that the opponents were opposed to such a project on the east side of the city. I think the community deserves it and deserves every bit of it, along with a bunch of other weird shit, she said. Earlier in the meeting, the number of leaders from Whiteley neighborhood, including the principal of Longfellow Elementary, spoke in favor of the resolution, saying it would give youth an example of something good being done in their part of the world. Attempts to put the issue back on the table resulted in a 4-4 tie with Council Member Brandon Garrett absent from the meeting. Council President Jerry Dishman, who was chosen to lead the council earlier Monday night, backed the proposed resolution. Also chosen to become the attorney for the city council was Dan Gibson. Gibson had served previous council for 3 years before resigning in June last year because council member Aaron Clark, which they didn't mention him by name, had criticized Gibson's firm, Delk McNally. The criticism was a matter unrelated to council business. The 4x4, and it wasn't a criticism, it was he lied about other issues that put the law firm in jeopardy with an other pre-existing client, which was completely out of line and out of hand. The 4-4 deadlock was broken when Gibson proposed to reword the resolution in a manner that made clear that the council would have final say over the method of financing, including whether a build, operate, transfer agreement is used or if bids should be taken for construction. But Ridenour would still have the authority to develop the plans for council to approve and negotiate with GM Development of the cost of the station. Gibson said it was similar to what was done in the summer of 2022, when GM Development was also set to build and develop a solar field on a brownfield where the Chevrolet plant sat for most of the 20th century. Those changes allowed the administration to move ahead with its plans and preparing the agreement with GM Development for the solar field. However, the council eventually rejected the project. That being said, the mayor's still going ahead with it. That's the reason why this crap with the firehouse should have been voted down. And I'm very disappointed in Councilor Jerry Dishman. He wanted to use the political process of this to make it look like he's fighting for the men and women. But what he needs to keep in mind is when the city goes broke and we have to lay those police and firemen off because we're building $8 million stations, what's he going to say then? And I believe the Democrats welcomed Rose Selvey in graciously as she stepped over from being a fiscal conservative to some form of Democrat, I believe, because the things that she was saying were certainly not fiscally conservative and absolutely insane. Those are my words. The council voted unanimously for the reworded fire station. All right. This is an interesting piece. It really doesn't go into the bitter fight that had been looming and a lot of the other things. Just interesting to me that this is the way that they chose to go. Very interesting that that's what they did. I don't know. Just very interesting. What are we talking about here in the comments? I've not been on the screen here in a minute. Anything good? Just spend $8 million. We spend it all the time. Why is it a problem now? I'm fine. I'm sure it's fine. It's just it's not their money. Absolutely. Yeah. Newsbreak is really strange. I don't know. I've got it, but I've quieted it all down, and I only go to it if I click on something specific. That's perception. That's Pennicuff's perception of reality. I ought to give him that title, and that ought to be the name of his articles, because it is interesting. I like Pennicuff. I'm not gonna lie. I like Pinnacuff. But that reporting, shoo. So that was one article. And then the next article that I found to be interesting was an article that was written about the crisis center. All right, from one Dan Ridenhour disaster to the next Dan Ridenhour disaster. Give me one
Please
second.
tell me
here.
that was the title of the article.
What?
From one Dan Ridenhour.
No, that's only the title of a Kristopher Bilbrey article. That should be the name of a show.
And here I was getting excited, thinking they were going to report the truth.
Yeah, right. Muncie Crisis Center, from one Dan Ridenhour disaster to the next. No, unfortunately, there was no no story like that in the Star Press. So this next article is really bizarre. Muncie Crisis Center remodel set to start next week. Now, I'm pretty sure that they wrote this exact same article about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks. It was before Christmas time when they got to go ahead. I was in the Board of Works meeting when they got to go ahead, and I was asking them, how much is this going to be? We've already spent this money out. That's when we got into the big knockdown, drag out, and all that crap was going on. So it's weird that we're apparently just now moving ahead. Muncie Crisis Center remodel set to start next week. Again. Renovation work has now set to start on the building. What do you mean renovation work? They're tearing the building down. They're not renovating it. I don't understand. Like, are they confused? Am I using renovation differently? To me, renovation means going in and using the bones, the structure, the skeleton that's there, and renovating it into a new structure. But that's not what it appears to be. My God. That's not what that's not what the city's doing. And it's very, very strange. So we'll read on with this article as soon as I can get my glasses clean. I'm going to throw these things across the room. Mayor Dan Ridenhour told the Star Press Tuesday that a pre-construction meeting was recently conducted. When? Where? Do we know anything about it? I'd like to know about that. The remodel work for the former Workman's Bar, 809 West 8th Street, is set to start Wednesday, January 17th. Here the building is. The building cost of $125,000. Termites were the building cost $125,000. But what kind of sentence is this? The building cost $125,000. Termites were discovered in the building after the purchase, leaving some parts of the structure unsalvageable. Coat of renovation is now set at $680,000 to turn the former bar into a medical building to be operated by IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital. But they've not mentioned all of the other money also put towards this. So they're leaving that out. All right. Ridenhour said money for the building is coming from the American Rescue Plan money that the city has set aside. Construction is expected to take up to 8 months. The crisis center, which has been in development for nearly 3 years, will provide a place for people in crisis from drug or alcohol abuse, depression, or other stressors in their lives. People caught in those situations often wind up waiting at the emergency room before being taken to jail when that is not the most appropriate place for them. When the crisis center opens this year, police can take them there where they will receive help from trained behavioral health professionals. Period. That's just a very strange
I love how he doesn't mention it's only 23 hours you get to stay there, and then they'll send you to jail or a treatment center.
Yeah. That is a very misleading article. And it's just like, again, is this what we have? Is this the strong, hard-hitting newspaper that the citizens of Muncie? What about the people that don't go to the city council meetings, that don't watch the city council meetings online? The people, I know it's hard to believe, but there are one or two people out there that don't watch this program. What about the people that don't watch this program, that don't stay as up to date as all of you, and the people that do watch this program, and all they have is the newspaper? Elizabeth said the ethics committee met tonight. I was so mad about that because I was going to attend that meeting and I completely forgot it. That's interesting. So the advisory of the ethics committee met tonight. So that's good news.
Well, that article is horrible. I mean, they tell you it's a 23-hour facility. They don't tell you that even though they said there were 14 beds, looking at the drawings, it doesn't look like there's any place for beds.
Yeah.
I mean, this article is incredibly disingenuous and does not mention any of the shortfallings of this project.
Yeah.
And the total cost of this thing. It's ridiculous. So between the building and the renovation, I mean, it's $800,000. And we figured out there's another $200,000 in expenses beyond that they've spent up to this point.
Right.
It's $1 million project to turn a bar into a quick fix PR campaign for the mayor.
Yeah, that's what I said from the very get-go, that the whole thing was I thought you were going to stand there. The whole thing was a campaign ad, a whole campaign promise. I called that way back when he put that forward, and it was a bunch of like, hey, snap some photos. And they were real hush-hush on the amount of money that it was going to cost and everything that was going on. And then we quickly developed a plan to that it's, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do, meaning the city, not us. The city develops this plan. And we are, by the time that they're done with this, spending money hand over fist to renovate this building. And now we know, Kate, how much have we spent on that building?
Which building?
How much have we spent on the crisis center? Total expenditure.
It was over 300,000. Don't you have your spreadsheet?
I'm pulling it up right here. Crisis center doc.
Yeah.
We have spent. Well,
this includes the price of the building.
It was $299,283 $299,283.38. But it's went up.
Yeah, it's gone up because they've had utilities and stuff
from there.
I think we had another 30,000 or something like that needed to be added into that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's topping $1 million.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. As Linda says, I'm sure it's fine. And it's so insane that's how she looks at things, folks. It blows me away that we have elected and appointed figures that talk like that. Absolutely nuts. Of course, it's not their money, Keep in mind, it's not their money that they're spending. It's the taxpayers' money that's being spent this way. So that's very unfortunate. Then you know, we've got no real say at the end of the day about, you know, what happens, and they're like, oh well, we've been being transparent. Everything that we've done and said is above the board. Everything, you know, everything is a-okay. There's nothing we've done wrong here. There's nothing you should be concerned about. How dare you ask questions? You know, you're not being positive enough. And, you know, I get so sick of being told that I don't love Muncie because I dare question the mayor by the Dan Addicts. It's amazing to me how it's amazing to me how dead set they are on questions, on just asking basic questions. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. The toxic positivity, man, I'm telling you, it is a killer. It is absolutely a massive killer for anybody in the political field, for anybody that does anything like what we're doing. The toxic positivity is really what is rough for for a lot of people, because they use that to try to attempt to strangle us out, and you know, to stop our voices from being heard, and trying to tell other people that, you know, oh, they're just negative, this person's, you know, don't mind this person. So that's just, it's so disheartening, I guess is the word. Okay. Oh, some of them are still contacting members of the ethics board too, by the way, accusing us of policing the mayor. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't even understand. Yeah, it's so strange. I don't hate my city. I hate the politics and corruption. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly right. And again, folks, this is going on wherever you are. So it's like, well, this is Muncie and everything. No. This is your neighborhood. This is your neck of the woods. This is your city. This is your town. This is your county. This is your township. This is your state. This is the federal government. It is all operating this way, folks. And it's being designed and driven to, you know, one point in time where it's all going to be total chaos. And it's, you know, a bunch of things that people say are conspiracy theories, but I don't believe that they're conspiracy theories when everything shows to be coming to fruition. It's just very, very interesting to me. Is that why Dan said transparent twice? Yes! He does that crap, man. He does that crap to try to be a smartass and be like, oh, look, we're being transparent. The only reason he was transparent at the Board of Works the other day is because it was something that kind of made him look good. Kind of made him look good. Because he's like, well, because we've reworked this plan, we now don't have to pay the $38,000 that I locked us into a contract for the next 15 years, paying $38,000 for empty spaces. Yeah. Alva, is anybody else tired of Dan showing up to bring something that is not on the agenda? For the love of God. Good night, Audie. He does that all the time. He was a counselor. He knows. He knows how it goes. That's one thing. And tomorrow night, we're going to have a special show tomorrow night for all of you that are watching. This would normally be the end of the night. And this is the reason why I was like, okay, this is going to kind of be a lax night. We're just going to have a talk, talk about a little bit of everything and just kind of be open and kind of chill. Because tomorrow, we had a big show last night. I'm normally, after tonight, supposed to be off Friday, Saturday. But we've got a big show tomorrow. Episode 116 is a bonus show. We're going to have Dr. Catherine on and quite possibly, hopefully, some special guests. And we're going to talk about the Madison County meeting. We're going to break it down and talk about a bunch of this. But one thing that I can say that Ben Gale, the president of the Madison County Council, one thing that he said was he admonished the department heads, the other elected officials out there, when they're working on bringing stuff to the Madison County Council, he wanted them to really work on staying within the time frame, the guidelines of when the dates are, and do all of that stuff. Because when you get people that are bringing stuff last minute, and you've got 10 different things that people are like, well, we know that the deadline to submit anything was 2 weeks ago, but we have to have this. Everybody has to have it. And it's like, God, come on, people. There's deadlines for a reason. All of this stuff is there for a reason. And it makes sense. So when the city council meeting is the first Monday of the month, the filing deadline for that is, 2 weeks before, so they can get the agenda ready, they can get everything ready. And if you miss that deadline, every once in a while, I want to talk about this, every once in a while, there might be a reason to push something forward. Every great once in a while, there might be a just reason to suspend the rules and to push something through in one night. But there has to be a lot of discussion on that, and it has to be very well understood. And that's something that shouldn't and can't happen every month. And so that's one thing that Ben Gale said yesterday that I just really agreed with and thought that, okay, I like where he's going with that. So, that's good. That's very interesting. Yeah. I'm looking here at the comments. Dan has to be feeling a little pressure to be transparent. If not, I can find the elephant in there. That's hilarious, Alicia. That's exactly correct. I do want to, Dan does it all the time. Yeah. I do want to again tell you guys, we do have a Madison County show tomorrow. That is a special show. It will be episode 116. So please tune in for that. Then on Monday, we'll then be off on Saturday. I'll be back Sunday for a regular show. And then on Monday, the 15th, we are going to have a special, a big show with a big guest, John Schrock. He's the guy that's in the middle of Brandon and I here. And it's going to be a very interesting episode. It'll be a big show. And hopefully we'll get some good questions answered and get to the bottom of some of the craziness that's going on at the local and state level here in Indiana. And for all of you outside of Indiana, the things that he will be talking about are absolutely going on in your states. And so this is going to be a big show for the United States, in my opinion. So that will be on Monday.
And is Brando going to be on Monday too?
Yeah, yep.
Yes.
That's a Brando show. Brando's going to be on for that one. So that'll be me, Brandon, and John Schrock for a conversation on Monday. So that's Monday. We're off Saturday. Sunday we have a show. We'll be back, but we do have a special show tomorrow with Dr. Catherine and some special guests, hopefully tomorrow, to take a look at all of the craziness that occurred in the Madison County meeting. Before we leave, before this episode shuts down on us, I do want to let everybody know that I have been monitoring the election filings of this year. Of course, the election filings opened yesterday, Wednesday the 10th. Today's the second day. I want to let everybody know kind of where we stand as of now. Delaware County, the only filings that I had found out as of like 3 p.m. today were the only official filings were Jessica Piper, county council at large, Eugene Whitehead, county council at large, both Republicans, Brad Polk, Republican, running for re-election to the treasurer seat, and then Delaware County Circuit Court 1 judge. He's filling in. He was appointed for the judge's seat when Voorhees, Marion Voorhees stepped down. Circuit Court 3, it's for Judge. Wait a minute. I thought it was no. I guess it's not. Wait a minute. No, that's. I don't know what I'm thinking. Judy Calhoun won in Circuit Court 1. Mayhor took over for Raylu Wolf. Okay. So Judge Mayhor formally enters the Circuit Court 3 race, where he has been seated for the last little bit. Judge Mayhor formally enters the Circuit Court 3 race. Judge Doug Mayhor on Wednesday filed his declaration of candidacy for the Delaware County Circuit Court 3 bench in this year's election. Mayhor has been the county's judge since September 1st. He was appointed by Governor Eric Holcomb to succeed longtime Judge Linda Raylu Wolf, who retired. Filing my official declaration of candidacy for the first formal step in my campaign for Judge of Circuit Court 3, Mayhor said in a news release, I'm excited to officially launch this campaign for the 2024 election, and I look forward to continuing to serve the citizens of Delaware County. A Republican, Mayhor has since been practicing law in Delaware County for more than 25 years, working as a private attorney in both civil and criminal cases, and serving as public defender. He was a Delaware County deputy prosecutor from 2014 until his appointment as judge. So there is that. We still don't have anybody that is running against Circuit Court 2 Judge Kim Dowling. We need someone to run against Kim Dowling. And that's that. Moving on to Henry County. Henry County. Bobby Plummer, Republican commissioner, has filed for re-election. Steve Dellinger, Republican commissioners, filed for re-election. A man called Dave Cantrell has filed to run against Steve Dellinger. And then in the corners race, we have the current corner, Brian Clark, who's filed for re-election. We have William Palmer, who's filed to run against him. And so that's what we have there. Madison County and Randolph
question
County.
real quick.
Yep.
Are any of the gentlemen running against the people, Sproles?
I don't know yet. It's going to take some time to sort that out. Madison County, I still don't have anything for, and Randolph County. Randolph County and Madison County, I'll get those tomorrow, and we'll have more on those on Sunday. But I will have a final list of the who's who on Friday and compile everything. I don't know if any of the people are Sproles guys. I can tell you I have a pretty good belief, I guess, that the corner candidate is a Sproles fan that's running against the current corner, because I know that Sproles is not happy with the current corner because the current corner has kind of put him in his place a time or two, I think. That's the word on the street. And so I hope that that's not what's happening, but I guess time will tell, because if any of these people are Sproles fans, they got to lose hardcore. Hardcore. So, that is the end of the show for today. Sorry that it was kind of haphazard and thrown together, but after last night's show, we need a little bit of a break, and then tomorrow's show is going to be bam, 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 bam. If you're interested in finding out the information that went on in Madison County, if you're from Madison County, if you're interested in hearing about what goes on when there is just an absolute corrupt center core of one party that's leading an entire city, an entire county, which over there, I hate to say it, it's the Republican Party, folks. I'm a former Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm a right-leaning libertarian. I hate to say that it's the Republicans that are, I don't know what they're doing everywhere. It's like, I don't know. I do not know. It's insane. So we will have a good show tomorrow with Dr. K and hopefully some special guests. I've got to talk to her about that when we get off of here. We will also talk a little bit, if we have time tomorrow, about the Anderson meeting, if there's anything of interest there. But we will be looking at all of that tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. What do you mean you want to come on? You are coming on. Who am I talking to? What are you talking about?
She jumped in a little late, so she missed your announcement of who you were going to be speaking to with the Madison County show tomorrow night.
Oh, that's you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's her.
Yeah, she knows that.
Maybe some other special guests.
Hopefully some yeah. Hopefully some special guests. But Catherine will be on. Is that what you're talking about? You're gonna come on. You're gonna be on. Is that what you're talking about, Catherine? And she's gone again. So that will be tomorrow. I've got a great thumbnail already planned out. I'm just finding out about civic duty. Yeah, bad news. Wild man, I don't know if you have social media, if you have a Facebook page or you have Twitter. If you have a Facebook or Twitter, Facebook would be preferable. Hit me up on Facebook if you have a Facebook page. You can find my Facebook. This is my personal Facebook. Bilbrey Facebook is just at facebook.com/Bilbrey, Bilbrey 318. You can send me a message there. Send me a friend request. Is that you? Did you already do it? Or is that somebody else? That would be crazy if like you literally did it. Wildman has subscribed. Oh, hey, good. Well, thank you for the subscription, Wildman. If you, I'll call, he says he'll call me. Well, I don't know who you are, but that's even better. So, that's fine. Very interesting. Well, very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to, break this on down. We will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Get a good night's sleep, eat a good breakfast, eat a good lunch, eat a good supper, whatever you got to do. Take your vitamins, do a line, have some wine, do whatever you got to do. But we're going to have a really good time tomorrow. I'm the fat guy with the Glock. I thought I was the fat guy with the Glock. What are we talking about? I'm very confused here now. All right, folks, you guys have a good night. God bless. We will see you all back here tomorrow for an amazing show we have planned. Good night. Take care. God bless. Goodbye. Remind me tomorrow we'll start talking about some merchandise. Remind me. You can own that shirt, Stumblefoot. Remind me, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
That shirt's link is actually on the community page.
Yep.